What's going on, everyone? So the Washington Wizards have been an interesting kind of destination for these vets, right? I mean, they just keep stockpiling these veteran players and kind of keep being the middleman team. But they recently just got Cam Whitmore, which leads many to believe that guys like Khris Middleton and Marcus Smart are probably getting bought out. They are expected to buy somebody out, whether it's one, whether it's both guys. I definitely think is something that could end up being on the horizon. I want to kind of break down both guys, but in this video in particular, I want to talk about Khris Middleton because for a Spurs team, I actually think Khris Middleton makes more sense than a Marcus Smart because you just have so many guards, right? And you could use kind of that veteran forward again because you have the young guys. Right, you have Julian Champagnie, Harrison Ingram at some point. It's like, what are you going to do with him? Carter Bryant, right? Like, I really like Harrison Barnes. I really like what Harrison Barnes brings to this team. I really like that Harrison Barnes just, again, gives you that veteran presence that you can rely on, that you can trust on, that can hit shots. Be that 3-and-D guy. Right? I think Khris Middleton is another guy that could potentially be that for a team like the San Antonio Spurs. I think he's a guy that can slot in. I mean, you could even go Khris Middleton at the 3 and then Harrison Barnes at the 4 if you wanted to, and go De'Aaron Fox with, Stephon Castle or Dylan Harper, or if they have Devin Vassell still, Devin Vassell with, Khris Middleton, Harrison Barnes, Victor Wembanyama. Got some shooting, got some defense, got some switchability, right? Got a little bit of everything. I don't hate the idea of bringing in Khris Middleton, 33 years old. He's a champion, right? So he kind of knows what it takes, been there, done that. These kind of guys, I think, are just very valuable for the youth of this team. I've talked about kind of going one of two ways. You either just fully lean into the youth and you go take a flyer on a couple guys and you see if maybe you can kind of hit on one or two, right? Or you go kind of the, hey, we got enough young core guys. We're good. Let's go get that veteran or two that can kind of come in, slot in, play a role, and kind of help be a development piece for us, right? And I think Khris Middleton could be that. He's 33 years old, right? So he's starting to get there, but he's not there yet where you start having those concerns, although he will be 34 in August going into next season, but it's fine for another, 2 years or whatever. You're not looking for him as a long-term answer for the Spurs. You're looking for him for a year or two as a veteran guy that come in, again, play a role for you, hit some shots, kind of maybe raise the ceiling a little bit for this team, whether he's coming off the bench or starting, however you want to go about it. I think he's a guy that could make some sense. The problem is, though, too, with a guy like Khris Middleton, does he want to go to a, championship contender? Right? A lot of these potential buyout targets, like Nikola Vucevic and, Bradley Beal, and I'm sure you're going to hear a lot more buyout guys just because, again, I think that's going to be the new norm under the CBA because, again, a lot of these bad contracts or these high contracts, like a lot of teams, like how many teams are going and trading for Khris Middleton in his contract? Not very many, if at all. Right? So these teams kind of have no choice but to buy these guys out. And you have these veteran guys, and Washington's already gotten their assets and everything like that. So he's already paid their dividends, right? Like you're just looking to kind of give him an opportunity, look good. Now you wipe your hands, but you just got a Cam Whitmore. You're in great shape, right? So it's kind of how I look at it with him. But again, does he want? If he was to be bought out, would he want to go to a young Spurs team and kind of help grow and develop them? Money talks a little bit. Maybe give them a little more than what another destination would be able to give them. Or does he stone cold set on going to a contender? But he already has a championship, right? So it's like, hey, why not cash in on a little extra than what you could get? So that's kind of the question. But let's go into the assumption that Khris Middleton would be open to go to the Spurs. Spurs are interested in Khris Middleton. Boom, match made in heaven. What would that potentially look like? Well, like I said, I think you have a versatile kind of wing that can slot in 2 through 4 on some nights for you, depending on the kind of lineups and looks that you're throwing out there, depending on the opposing team and stuff. But really that kind of 2-3 spot. Talk about guys, 6'7" in size. We've seen when he's on, he can cook with the best of them. Right? Injuries have kind of derailed him a lot, which is kind of the biggest problem and concern, but you're also, one, no one's expecting to win a championship this year. Two, like, you're not looking for him to necessarily, I mean, he could be, but you're not looking for him to necessarily be, one of your main five guys. Right? Like, even if he was to start, you're probably leaning into the young guys more. You're probably just kind of starting Khris Middleton just for the vanity metric. And, hey, thanks for, coming over and helping us out. So we'll start you over the young guy. But the young guy's the one that's going to get the 30 minutes and you're going to play the 18 or whatever, right? Like, that kind of thing. So on-court production, right? Guy that I still do think can be very productive. A guy that I do think can in the right situation, right role. Now, he was a guy that was basically second or third option on a championship contender, right? Now, Giannis Antetokounmpo is otherworldly and was like dropping 50, a night on these teams to win a championship. But at this stage of his career, I don't think him as your first, second, third guy is probably the best answer. But again, you're talking about a young team that just wants to bring in veteran talent and experience to kind of help round out the roster. But last season, between Milwaukee and Washington, I'll go over kind of the main overall season, and then I'll talk about the best stint. But he played 37 games, started in 21 of them, averaged just under 23 minutes per game, 9.1 field goal attempts, shot 47.5% from the field, shot 36% from three-point range on 3.6 attempts, shot 55% from two-point range on 5.5 attempts. He had an EFG of 54.6%, shot 85.7% from the foul line on 2.3 attempts, grabbed just under 4 rebounds, 3.7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, half a block, and 12 points per game. His stint with the Milwaukee Bucks was longer, and he was better than he was with Washington. In 23 games, he played 23.2 minutes per game, shot 9 field goals, 51.2% from the floor, shot just under 41% from three-point range on 3.7 attempts, shot 58.4% from two-point range on 5.4 attempts, EFG of 59.5%, shot 84.8% from the free throw line on 2 attempts, grabbed 3.7 rebounds, 4.4 assists, a steal, half a block, and 12.6 points. So basically just under 13 points. But again, this is a guy that has had multiple seasons where, he's averaged 20 points a night. I think those days are probably further behind. But for him to be a guy that, again, he's giving you 12 points a night, not really a guy I'd look to be your starter. Unless like I said, it is a vanity metric. Maybe you're starting him for say you start the season with him as your starter and then you kind of make that transition. Spurs team, I don't hate if he starts, even if he started all season, because again, you're not really like a contender. I don't think would necessarily start him, but I think a young team like the Spurs, that would be kind of part of your sales pitch, right? Like, hey, you could go to this team over here, but you're probably coming off the bench, right? Or you can come to us and we could start you. Because also the concern, again, is just the amount of games that he plays, right? And the health that and the risk of that health that comes with it. Right, you look at last season, like I said, he played 37 games last season, 55 games, 33 games, 66. The last time he played, in the 70s was in the 2018-2019 season, which he played 77 games. And what's funny is the year before that played 82 games. Since then, it's been 62, 68, 66, 33, 55, and then 37. So just kind of things to keep in mind. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.